I'm Maria, and the author of this book, Why We Are in Need of Tales. This is the second book of a book series. My first book was Why We Are in Need of Tales. And the main characters in Why We Are in Need of Tales are the main characters in this book when they discuss picture books. I'll read the first chapter, and that's based on a story by Leo Lionni, and it's called Why We Are in Need of Sharing In. Huck and Tuck, the two characters of Why We Are in Need of Tales, remember those two? Decided to go to the middle of nowhere and have their cup of tea and tell each other tales. They loved going to the middle of nowhere because there's so much room for imagination. Telling tales made them feel connected, sort of like when you felt connected when they had actual tales. But that was a long time ago, and that's another story. It was a bright sunny day, and Huck and Tuck decided to sit down by a pond called Rainbow Pond, which was named after the pond in a famous tale by Leo Lionni, the greatest of tale tellers. You know, said Huck, there's an interesting story about this pond. Do you know the story? No, said Tuck. Well, Huck began, a long time ago, 3 quarrelsome frogs, Milton, Rupert, and Lydia, lived on an island in this pond. They fought all day long. About what? Asked Tuck. You wouldn't believe it, said Huck. But Lydia thought the air was hers and hers alone. And Rupert thought the earth belonged to him and him alone. And Milton thought the water belonged solely to him. But why? Asked Tuck, looking confused. They kept arguing, continued Huck, saying the earth is mine, the air is mine, the water is mine. All this quarreling started to annoy a friendly toad named Toad, who lived on the other side of the island. One day, totally fed up, he hopped over and told these 3 frogs to stop bickering. But they didn't listen to him. Then there was a heavy rainstorm, and it started to flood their little island in the middle of Rainbow Pond. The island got smaller and smaller, and the frogs got scared. They had nowhere to go. But then they spotted a rock, and on it, huddled together, they trembled from cold and fright. But they felt better being close together as they clung to each other for dear life. When the rain stopped and the water receded, they noticed to their utter amazement that the rock was not a rock. It was Toad who had saved them. Oh, that's really a nice tale, said Tuck. It's a good story to make you feel connected to each other. But there's more, said Huck. Listen. These quarrelsome frogs now started sharing the water, the earth, and the air. They jumped into the water together, they leaped after butterflies together, and they finally rested in the weeds together. They were happy frogs now, and Toad was happy too, because the island was finally quiet and peaceful. I never knew there was such an interesting story about Rainbow Pond, said Tuck. First they shared their fears, and then they shared what they originally thought was theirs alone. That's right, said Huck. I guess they figured out sharing was more fun. Soon Huck and Tuck fell asleep on the side of Rainbow Pond. The sun had made them sleepy. When Tuck woke up, he started to think about the story and couldn't figure out why someone, in this case a frog named Lydia, would claim the air was hers. The air was not only hers. Don't we all need air? Don't we all need water and earth? And even though you might claim the air is yours, you're also going to need water and earth. Well, that's probably why they quarreled all the time, because they also needed what the others had and claimed what was only theirs too. The question, thought Tuck, is how do I decide that something is mine? Do I decide that? Are there rules for what's mine and not mine? Can someone take what's mine and then claim it belongs to them? I can decide my body, my thoughts, my feelings are mine, but when I share my thoughts and feelings, they're no longer mine alone. It seems that these frogs thought if they shared the air, the water, and the earth, it wouldn't be theirs anymore. Is that why they were really afraid of? So many questions were swimming in Tuck's head. When Huck woke up, Tuck looked at him and decided that sharing tales really does make you feel connected and close to each other. It makes you feel more you. But Tuck thought, they also trust each other. Maybe the frogs didn't trust each other at first. And once they learned that they could trust each other when they huddled together in the storm, they too were able to share things and to share in things. When they started to share in the world of air, earth, and water, a world so much greater than they weren't afraid of sharing anymore and afraid of losing what they claimed was theirs. But what if you share your thoughts and feelings with others and some people make fun of you or think your thoughts and feelings don't matter? Isn't it better not to share and just keep to yourself? Well, maybe you can't share and hold tales with everyone. Huck and Tuck figured that out from a long time ago. But maybe you can learn to hold tales with someone you didn't think you could, just like Lydia, Milton, and Rupert did. Tuck liked this tale about Rainbow Pond and liked sharing tales with Huck. Now, the illustrations in this book are drawings that the children did in the school where I taught the Philosophy for Children course. And this is a drawing done by Anmar Alani, and it says, "The earth is not yours because everyone should share the world. Sharing makes people feel good." Well, that's my first chapter of my new book, Why We Are in Need of Tales. Thank you.